So the title behind Reflecting Magic actually came from my son, who was talking one day about how his gemstones that he has quite a few of reflect magic. And I thought that was actually kind of a cool title for a song, so I stole it from my son. So the collaboration with Pilot Zero came about from Instagram. He reached out to me, and he had sent me some music, and I liked what I heard and noticed especially a lot of the guitar work that he was doing was pretty cool. And we kind of traded a lot of info back and forth over probably the course of a few years, I think. And I had kind of always kept him in mind about future guitar work. So at any rate, after kind of working through this track, I felt like it was in a pretty good place, but I felt like it was missing something, particularly something live to kind of offset the very electro, all the synths, the electro feel and drum machines and whatnot. And I tried piano, but it didn't really work for me. So I was searching. I was wondering, I thought maybe guitar might actually be pretty cool on that, have kind of like almost like that surf guitar flavor. So I kind of blindly reached out to him and was like, hey, you want to try some ideas on this? I don't know exactly what I'm going for here, but I kind of am hearing this surf guitar thing. And he came back to me with a lot of ideas, a lot of cool stuff. And so I basically kind of picked out the ones I thought were most appropriate. And I think they to me, they really add that extra dimension, kind of brings that track to life in a way that I was looking for. Yeah. Let's see. So I'll generally get up by 7, do a yoga class, eat breakfast, go to the studio. I'll try to practice piano for about an hour, 40 minutes to an hour, depending. And then from like 10 to 2, I'll work on music-related projects, whether it's a score that I'm working on or an album or a collaboration. But it's always, those are kind of my like music making hours. And after that, I generally will pick up my kid from school or camp and hang out with him for a bit and try and get some admin stuff done before the evening hours. I like to do all the creative work in the morning, so then I can use the sort of afternoon hours to like handle emails and just handle a lot of the logistical stuff around releases, label stuff, and contact and whatnot. Then it's dinner time, and I'll cook dinner for my kid and read and put him to bed, and that's pretty much it. If I can squeeze in a little bit of reading afterwards, sometimes I'll have energy for that. Sometimes I'll mess around with software and stuff like that at night, and try a few things. But yeah, generally most of I'd say my bulk of my creative work I like to do in the morning, until like 2. And I find like if I do any more than that, I'm actually not productive, or it just gets worse, or I'm just spinning my wheels. So that's my schedule. So the electronic music workshop came about from the program director at Waynfleet, who reached out to me about coming up with a curriculum and teaching electronic music at their camp, their summer camp. And it's open to all students, not just the Waynfleet school students. And it was a lot of fun. I focused on synthesis, understanding and creating sounds with synthesizers, sampling, sound design, and then I'd say like the GarageBand basics, understanding how a DAW works, and we used GarageBand. And the idea was basically that everything we were using in the workshop, that the students were using to create, was completely free. So GarageBand is free. There are a few plugins that were free plugins that they could download. So the idea is that they could take everything they learned and then do it from their own homes. And my goal was to kind of get these kids to develop an appreciation for the process of creating, just simply the joy of actually having fun with, say, a synthesizer, or bringing in their own weird objects and recording them and seeing what they can make with them. Like, hey, here's what you can do with a ping pong ball, and turn it into some really interesting rhythmic loop. And getting them to think just about loops. So really kind of concentrating on the smaller building blocks of in electronic music, which to me are these loops, which if you kind of craft and you have this attention toward ideas, then come about later on from those original loops that you've created. So it was all like homegrown ideas that I had the kids working on, and I think they got a lot out of it. It was certainly fun for me to hear what they ended up doing. It was everything from like blippy video game stuff to like just like completely mayhem to like dubsteppy, techno-y, really all over the map, to like textural ambient stuff, and just the sounds that these kids would choose, I felt were really more deliberate than I had anticipated. So yeah, it was super fun. I'd love to do it again. I probably will do it again next summer. And I'm enjoying taking on a few private students who are interested in kind of specific areas of electronic music, and working with them on whatever their goals are. So it's been a nice way for me to share what I've learned in an authentic way, and connect also to a younger audience and how they are approaching these tools and what their interests are in electronic music and what their conceptions are of it. So yeah, it was fun. And lastly, if I was a superhero or superhero power, I'm going to go with flying. I think flying would be pretty amazing. So